Hi, I'm Ryan Palmer, and I'm standing here with Travis Engel and Kristen Butcher, and we're here at the 2018 Bible the Bike Test in Marquette, Michigan. And right now, we're talking about the Rocky Mountain Pipeline. It's a 27 plus bike, and it has 140 millimeters of travel all around. And it's kind of a bruiser of a bike. It's it's definitely, no, I don't think it's a trail bike. I think it's like a full-on all-mountain brawler.
Oh yeah. This year we rode a few bikes that the tire played a big role in what we felt the bike was, like the Pivot Mach 5.5 or the Ibis Mojo HD4. And I think this bike is the same thing. Like any other bike with these numbers would be a different animal, but those tires really put it in kind of almost a category on its own.
They're the Maxxis Minion 2.8s, and these have really aggressive knobs on them. With most bikes, you need those extra knobs to be able to dig in, but with the Plus tires, you have so much traction that you don't necessarily need it. So it can make the bike a little bit slower, and at the same time, this bike is slack. It's at home going downhill really fast, at which case the bigger treads let you push it even further.
Yeah, I mean, this bike is sort of made for the loam, right? Like these big, huge lugs. And I mean, it is that DHR especially, it's like with the paddles in the back, it is a slower rolling tire for sure. You need more wattage to maintain speed for sure. And I mean, climbing like in the neutral position, I definitely felt a little bit like the bike was too slack, a little bit, off the back a little bit, but you can adjust that, right? It has 9 positions. And when I put it to the steep mode, I'm thinking it made a big difference. It made the seat angle way steeper, made the head angle steeper, and I feel at that point, it became a pretty good climber.
I was in the same position of this, I like a steeper bike, so this was a little bit slacker. And with that Ride 9 adjustable geometry, you have 9 different ways to play with this.
Yeah.
And for somebody who likes to drink Smirnoff Ice and tinker in their garage, you have lots of different ways to be able to play with that. Another point that I really enjoyed about this is that you can get into this bike for $2,600.
Yeah, the alloy version, the lowest spec alloy version. Yeah, that's a pretty good bang for your buck, I'd say.
And I think along the lines of kind of bringing more people into the fray of the plus size bike, something I liked about this bike is that, so we also rode the 9er Jet 9 RDO with the 27 plus wheels. We rode the Spot Mayhem. And if you're going to get those in the plus size tires, you treat them like plus size bikes. You run the tires at, gosh, like I ran, 17, 18 in the front, 19 in the rear. On this bike, because it's a little more of a bruiser, because it's got this extra travel and it's got this capable geometry, I put it up a PSI and a half. And yeah, it's not this like ultra gushy plus bike, but I think that's what a lot of people are gonna like about it, is that you can get the advantage of the extra contact patch, of the slightly lower pressure, but you can still thrash it.
The plus size category sort of has this, I think it's a misnomer that it's not designed for advanced riding.
Right. It's only for beginners.
It's only for beginners.
It's just a confidence booster.
But like only beginners benefit from better traction? No, right? So I think that, this is a cool example of a bike that's like, hey, we're badass, we're gonna do our thing. Another point I really wanted to make with this bike is I think the frame's beautiful. I love how Rocky's going to these hidden pivots in this chainstay. I think that's beautiful. They've simplified their pivots a lot. It's like a mechanic's dream. They went from maybe the most complex pivot hardware systems on earth to full bearing systems that are simple as all hell to take apart. And for me, that's great. But one thing that we did notice was the chain runs real close to the chainstay, and it slaps a lot. So you definitely need to put some rubber on that sucker to quiet it down.
But then once you do that, it's taken care of.
Yeah.
So thanks for checking out another Bike Mag Roundtable, and subscribe to our channel.